try that again. Hi guys. My name is Zoe. If you're wondering why I have this face covering on, it's because I just finished my classes for today for uni. Um, and like right before my last class, my name is Zoe. By the way, I don't know if I said that already. Um, right before my last class, we get this. We the 1984 bells are ringing already. Um, this is bad. This is very bad. Um, this is most likely in response to the UK doing all of their stuff. I'm just going to. I'm just going to. Sorry if the fan's on. I'm kind of warm. What's that? I'm just gonna try to explain some of this. Um, hopefully. Let's see here. So I'm gonna take my glasses off for this. So we're gonna start with the privacy, I guess, of this. They say that they will. Okay, so the first thing is that video selfies are never gonna leave a user's device. Um, well, obviously, we should always take this with a grain of salt because, um, as the Polygon article that I read before this has adequately like explained, it's susceptible to hacking. Everything is susceptible to hacking, especially with face IDs, which this is. Um, so video selfies, and I want to make note of this. I don't think anyone else might cover this because it's so tucked away, but there's this word, estimation. Video selfies for facial age estimation. This means one of two things. Either it's humans that are going to detect whether someone is old enough and there isn't like a what is that? When they use the term estimation and not verification, that immediately signals to me that they're not going to have any like passport or like driver's license thing because otherwise they would use verification. The more common thing though, the first thing is that humans are going to check it. The more common thing though is they're going to use AI to check it, and then they'll train it on their model, AI algorithm, one of the two. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Moving swiftly along to quick deletion. So, identity documents submitted to our vendor partners. So, that's concerning. Um, they don't say like submitted to, I don't know, like a forum or a team on Discord specifically. They say vendor partners. What that signals to me is that third-party sources are going to get this. Most likely. I want to make it clear, like everything I'm saying here is like allegedly or my opinion based on what I'm reading. Don't sue me, please. I'm just reporting here the information that's already on your site. Um, but the fact that they use vendor partners here very likely means that these identity documents are going to be going to third party sources, which means that third party sources are going to have even more of your data, which is not the best. It says that they're deleted quickly, but again, we don't have a way to verify that. We don't have a way to confirm that they're immediately deleted. Um, Straightforward verification, complete the process once, and their Discord experience adapts. Again, this kind of signals like a I suppose this would be more of like a standard algorithm, like once the other AI detects what age you are, like a more standard algorithm will put the things in place. It's not a justification for that in any means, but and then here, users may be asked to use multiple methods only when more information is needed. In what cases though? Like, it says straightforward, but at the same time, it doesn't clarify what cases um, users may be asked. And again, we have to look at, see here, age inference model. I glossed over it because I was so focused on estimation. They're going to use AI. They're using AI to determine if you're old enough. First of all, generative AI is not perfect. We know this. I myself am an artist. I vehemently oppose AI, but even from a non-artist perspective, as like someone who's going into like data science, LLMs are not perfect things. Like, just because someone looks a certain age doesn't mean that's what their age is. And the fact that they're using AI here and like actually like spelling it out, this is bad. This is bad, guys. It was really unfortunate. Um, Private status. So there is a user age verification status. Again, hack here. If Discord gets hacked, which I would imagine it has been, they can tell whether you're verified or not. That doesn't mean that, like, they can tell if you're underage or not, but that does significantly narrow down the possibilities for if hackers, for example, like, need to get underage information from Discord. And like not even hackers. Like since our vendor partners is mentioned, third-party sites can also tell if you're over 18 or not. And not just that, with how the government is working right now across the world, governments can very well pressure these sites into giving this information. It says it's deleted quickly, but again, we have user age verification status. That status is probably permanent, or at least somewhat staying. It has some staying power. And again, we can't verify that these pictures are deleted quickly. This is a serious problem. Um, Something that is kind of a positive is that it doesn't send emails or text messages about the age assurance process. Or, well, even this is like, I suppose that's good because like you can scrape emails and text messages, but again, going back to all of this, it's like a band-aid to like a gaping wound here. This is really bad. And then let's just look at the this really quickly. The safety settings. So we're gonna do it in early March, so we have a month before all this happens. First, the thing that stands out to me: content filters. You cannot view spoilers if you're not age assured. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I mean, the spoiler tag exists for a reason, but I mean, spoilers could also be like movie spoilers. It depends on the context. And again, these are like basic features that people know. We have age gated spaces. This is implemented. I wouldn't say implemented. I would say it's what is it? It's put in place. Like not put in place fully. I will concede to that, but Again, going back to user age verification status, the fact that Discord has a database that can tell if you're verified or not is, as I've said earlier, kind of concerning. Message request by inbox. DMs from people a user may not know are routed to a separate inbox by default. So this is kind of like friend request-esque. So like if you have someone that you don't know, then it's routed to a separate inbox. I don't know how that'll work, but what is it? I mean, like let's say you have like a friend that you just got their Discord that ties in with friend request alerts. Like it'll have a warning prompt, and I imagine this warning prompt is like, oh, like I see. The thing is, I am thinking of the worst possible case scenario where it's oh, this user is not verified and therefore you can't be friends with them. I don't know if that's what's gonna happen, but um, that is a possibility. Um, it is a possibility. Stage restrictions. This doesn't really apply to me personally, but I know that server related things are important, and like on top of everything else, this is pretty dire here, guys. We I'm surprised I didn't hear about this. Discord successfully launched a team by default experience. Yeah, by what metric would successfully be here? It doesn't say. And they don't provide any other sources to say that it has succeeded. So really, I feel like this is just the company being like, oh, hey, like, we've already implemented this in UK, Australia. Like, we haven't talked to anybody about it, but we've implemented it. And we're going to implement it here because it's implemented. And we want to make it cohesive. And then this, I do not understand what this is for. Like, it is a council for teens to be an advisory body on Discord. We do not know, from what I can tell, how impactful this council will be in terms of like actual like things it's gonna do to Discord. But computer literacy should not be something that what is it? That should be the responsibility of the platform, I guess. Like, computer literacy classes should exist just as well as financial literacy. I feel like that's what schools should do. Like, it's not, I feel like on top of all of the AI facial recognition stuff, the fact that we have platforms doing this and doing the computer literacy is not entirely a good thing. I mean, I can the first thing that comes to mind is like the COPPA system in YouTube, which I'm probably gonna post. So YouTube, also please don't sue me. This is my opinion, please. But this kind of reminds me of that. Like if you are based, like, what is it? Like if the AI flags you as being for kids, then you just don't get revenue, even if like it is for kids. But if it isn't for kids, sorry. Which is not good. It's not a good practice. That's kind of what I'm saying is that like, well, the computer literacy um, needs to be taken seriously, not by platforms, but by institutions. Or institutions and parents have a responsibility for that, I feel. It shouldn't be the burden of the platform to manage this, especially not in this way. Like, sure, management is important in some aspects, but not like this. Not with AI having access to all of our facial data. Um, tools and resources. Did this get added recently? I'll have to look into that later. This video is already like probably gonna be, yeah, it's like 17 minutes. Um, okay, so I'm gonna have this as like a TLDR bit, but TLDR, 1984 is continuing with teen by default settings. They're going to use AI to detect if you're old enough. Generative AI, they may or may not send your data to other entities, vendor partners in particular, which means it's open for hacking and it's open for government overreach. Um, and there's a privated but still existent status of age verification, which may or may not um, also be eligible for hacking. And then a lot of default standard things are going to be age locked, specifically spoilers, um, age related spaces. There's going to be warning pop ups for like friend DMs, and that may involve something along the lines of if you're not verified, then you can't be like friends or something like that. And then there's this teen council thing, which kind of ties with computer literacy and how that should be. It shouldn't be as much of a burden on platforms as it should be to like institutions and parents, in the same way that like financial literacy should be more talked about in like high schools and stuff. Yeah, this is bad. Um, I don't really know how to end this on a good note because nothing is good here. This is just a analysis, first time analysis. All the things here are my opinions. Please, don't, I guess, don't take this out of context. If you want to read more, um, I will. I this channel is new, so I wouldn't have the link in the description, but you can see the link up here if anything changes. I'll also be trying to copy the text and saying it on my own end. But yeah, hopefully this is probably what this channel is gonna be. It's gonna be like a lot of like investigative, like not like investigative, but like just putting the facts out there, explaining a lot of information. Um, Sometimes it'll be a script, sometimes it will not be a script. This is definitely not scripted. I'm a bit out of breath. Um, I had to like run here because of this after that, but yeah, no, this is bad. But yeah, I yeah, just stay safe out there, y'all. I don't know how to end videos properly, but yeah, I guess that'll do it here.